I got pregnant because my partner does not know what protection means. Hello everyone. I don't really have anything to say as my opening statement. See, you guys understand? You got it? Yeah. But anyways, hello again. We're back with another story. This is another one of the story submissions in my DMs. Today's story started with a girl and we're gonna call her Sira Bandung. And this story started when Sira Bandung was still in uni. I think she is still in university, I'm not sure. And then one fine day, Sira Bandung decided to go jogging. She went jogging with her friend at her university punya stadium. She was jogging, it was evening, you know, the birds were chirping, it was just a nice day. And then this one good looking man just running on the track. He was just, you know what I mean, he was just going. And you know, Sira Bandung said that he was handsome, he was tall, he was attractive. Obviously, as the sane girl that she was, Sira Bandung looked over to her friend and was like, "Girl, do you know him? Do you know who that is? That very fine young man." So after Sira Bandung asked her friend who that fine young man was, Sira Bandung's friend, being the supportive friend that she was, she told Sira Bandung like, "Girl, of course I know him. That's Tahu Bergadil. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna give you all of his social media username and everything." And then obviously once Sira Bandung got a hold of Tahu Bergadil's username, she went and followed him on all of his social media accounts like Instagram, TikTok and everything. And then they started to chat through TikTok and Instagram, but it was sort of like an on and off conversation. It was one of those where he would reply her stories and she would reply his stories, sort of like that, I think. After 2 months of just them having this sort of conversation, on and off conversations, one day, Tahu Bergadil sent a TikTok post to Sira Bandung, and I think it's a specific TikTok post. That's why it has like its significance in this story. And he sent her a TikTok post, and then they started their TikTok streak from there. And somehow, I don't understand how, but somehow from that TikTok streak, their conversation suddenly started to become a lot more than how it began. Like before, it was like very friendly, it was just harmless, macam nudge here and there. But after the TikTok streak started, the conversation started to become a lot more personal and intimate. Long story short, after they conversed for a while, they both then decided to finally meet each other for the first time. Despite being in the same uni, they've never seen each other face to face throughout that 2 months of them just conversing and just having an on and off conversations through Instagram and TikTok. So this will be the first time that they will see each other. And when both Sira Bandung and Tahu Bergadil saw each other, they met, it happened. Like they slept together. Sira Bandung said that at that time she was very, very scared. She was very nervous and she was very embarrassed. But at the same time, she wanted it as much as he does. And she also really liked the guy. So I guess at that time it clouded her judgment a bit. The thing is, the night before they meet up, they've already talked about the possibility of this thing happening. And so the night before, she already asked him whether or not he got protection with him, and he said yes. Tahu Bergadil told Sira Bandung that he had bought protection, obviously, for the possible activities that they might do on the day that they would see each other, right? And then when somehow on the day itself, when they were doing it, Sira Bandung was confused because Tahu Bergadil did not put one on. And so obviously she asked him like, "Hey, are you not using protection?" And then he said no, because he actually did not have any. So red flag number one. Actually, we're past like 3-4 red flags by now. Again, like I said before, Sira Bandung wanted this just as much as Tahu Bergadil wanted this, and also she liked him a lot at that time, so I guess it clouded her judgment a little bit. So even though Tahu Bergadil came and provided no protection whatsoever, she was okay with them doing it. And they've done it, and then he was safe, if you know what I mean. He was safe. I don't know how to explain this to you guys and make it PG-18 or PG-13, but he was safe. Okay. This obviously did not happen just once. After this, it happened again and again, and every single time, this guy Tahu Bergedil would make it his mission to come up with as many excuses that he could come up with, just so that he would not have to wear protection when they're doing it. And in her DM, Sirap Bandung said a few things to mark before I continue my story. He came from a very well-financed family. He is I'm not sure, a sports science student, and he is a final year student in our uni. Anyways, from that little information alone, we know that he would have no problem whatsoever to go to the nearest 7-Eleven, My News or whatever, and just grab a pack of protection. But he wouldn't. He did not. And not only that, he didn't even offer to purchase our girl Sirap Bandung a plan B or the morning after pill whatsoever that people use nowadays right after their activities or whatever. He never offered. And our girl Sirap Bandung said that it's not that she wanted his money or whatever, it was just common sense, it was just common courtesy. Like, that's the least that you could do. And then after 2 whole months of them just doing it back to back for a few times, our girl Sirap Bandung missed her period. She told Tahu Bergedil about this. She contacted Tahu Bergedil and she was like, hey, I've missed my period. And Tahu Bergedil, the most clueless person that he still is, I think. He just asked Sirap Bandung like, oh, what does that mean? What does it mean if you miss your period? Like, what does it mean? Like, why are you telling me this? And it's important for me to note that it's not him being sarcastic. He's just dumb. He genuinely does not know what would happen if a girl missed her period after having raw, unprotected, activities like that. Like, he never cared to learn, I guess. I don't know. When I was in high school, we learned that in biology. I'm not sure where this guy came from. Also, small details about this guy. Sirap Bandung said that he is one of those guys who would post on social media like he's an Instagram baddie. One of those hot, handsome guys that you saw on TikTok or Instagram and you're like, wow, he's handsome. But then you scroll down his page and it's just thirst traps everywhere. And suddenly he just doesn't seem that hot anymore. And based on what Sirap Bandung said in her DM, I feel like there's more to the story, not more to the story, but more about this guy that I should know about, and I would have reacted more if I know more about him, if you know what I mean. But she said in her DM that I hope we can meet up in person so that I can tell you this story with more passion and expression. Girl, let's go. Anyways, after Sirap Bandung missed her period for almost 6 weeks, she finally took a pregnancy test, and yeah, she is pregnant. She was pregnant at the time. And when she finally went and told Tahu Bergedil, I'm pregnant with your child, the only thing that Tahu Bergedil could offer was sorry and please A-word the baby. And you know what's bad? Our girl Sirap Bandung said in her DM that Tahu Bergedil does not even know what the A word means. He doesn't know. Never once existed in his dictionary or whatsoever. He did not know what it meant. He did not know what abort meant. He did not know. And also, he doesn't even know the importance of protection when he's doing that activity with girls. He didn't know how he could possibly get diseases from having multiple partners in his little activities if he were to do it raw. And after Tahu Bergedil told Sirap Bandung to abort the baby, Sirap Bandung really did not want to. Even though he asked her to, she did not want to. But because of the circumstances that she was in at that time, she was a student, she was a full-time student, she was also a scholarship student, and obviously in her contract, the provider of the scholarship does not allow her to postpone her studies or to get married or to be pregnant without getting married, obviously. So technically she has no other choice, and obviously she had to choose the hard path on how to maneuver this situation. And Tahu Bergedil not once, never even asked her if she was okay, if she was doing okay, how she is doing, whatever. He never asked. And when she finally told him that, hey, I'm going to this clinic to abort the baby, the only thing that he said was, okay, just go. As if like, why are you telling me this? Obviously at that point, our girl Syrup Bandung got really stressed out and depressed, and she couldn't function properly mentally and physically. And all of this was happening during week 14. If you don't remember, or if you don't know, week 14 is famously known in most of the universities in Malaysia, I would say. It's known for its examinations, final submissions of assignments, final submissions of like final year projects or like design projects and everything. Everything must be submitted on week 14. And imagine all of these things, they're all happening to our girl Syrup Bandung during week 14. Obviously she could not study properly at that time because she was just sick, and there were a lot of things that were going through her mind. After that whole conversation, they never really talked anymore. They never really have any contact after that conversation. And whenever they walk past each other outside in campus or whatever, he would often just avoid looking at her, avoid meeting her gaze, and he would often just ignore her existence. Even if they're walking like shoulder to shoulder, he would just pretend like she's not there. Even his friends would be looking at her and macam notice her existence, but he wouldn't. It was obviously a very, very depressing phase and the lowest point of Syrup Bandung. She was crying like crazy for him, for her pregnancy, for her examination, for herself. Like her heart was totally broken and she was torn apart. This is an actual girl who had feelings for this guy. She genuinely liked Tahu Bergedil. So not only that she's going through all of this problems and stress and depression whatsoever, she's also going through heartbreak because this is the guy that she likes. This is the guy that she likes who's doing this to her. She held on until she finished her final examination, and then she decided to go through with the procedure because it's safer this way, obviously. And then she went through the procedure alone. He wasn't there for her emotionally, physically, financially. He wasn't there. The only reason why she did not herself was because of the endless support that her best friend kept giving her at that time. Thank God for that best friend. During semester break, when technically all the procedures over and everything, and I guess she was trying to heal herself, Syrup Bandung was trying to heal herself, she then noticed that Tahu Bergedil had removed her everywhere, and he had deleted all of their conversations whatsoever without even saying anything. He acted like they never interacted. He acted like they were never friends in the first place. Hell, he acted like they were not even acquaintances. He acted like he did not know her at all. Like he pretended like nothing ever happened. And I feel like it's a bit difficult. It's obviously difficult for Syrup Bandung because she said it herself in her DM. Even after everything that happened, she actually did not want any bad blood with anyone, and she still wanted to be his friend, which I disagree. I know it's not right for me to suggest these things when I'm not in your shoes, but if it's kalau orang bodoh macam ni, tak payahlah kawan dengan dia. You don't need to be friends with someone who's this stupid. He's an idiot, he's evil, and he is obnoxious. He basically had all of these red flags just listed in his LinkedIn. What more do you want? I get it, I understand. Our girl Syrup Bandung really liked him before, to the point that she was willing to give herself to him fully. So it's very difficult to just let someone like that go, even though they treated you that harshly. The story sort of ended there. I'm guessing she is trying to heal herself more now. But before I get on to the last part of the DM where she wrote her own little message for me to read it to you guys. I just want to like say to anyone who's currently struggling with the same sort of situation, and also to Sirap Bandung herself, if you're watching this, just let him go. It's not worth it. I understand it's difficult, but I would suggest for you to try and distract yourself with other things, distract yourself with other hobbies, because trust me, you cannot be just friends with this guy. Do not be friends with this guy, because I know for a fact that you would not be able to control your emotions. You would still end up being in love with him still, and he would just use you. Also, fun fact that I forgot to mention, when our girl Sirap Bandung told when Sirap Bandung told Tahu Bergedil about her pregnancy, and the first thing that he said was obviously sorry and to go and abort the baby. But the third thing, guess what he said? Guess what the third line from him was? Just guess. He asked her, Tahu Bergedil asked Sirap Bandung whether or not she wanted to follow him to celebrate New Year's, because when all of this happened, it was like New Year's. So he was basically like, oh, I'm sorry, can you please go and abort the baby? And also, would you like to join me for the New Year celebration? Yeah, I don't see. The thing about me is that I don't think that he is stupid. I think he is mischievous. I think he is evil. I think he is condescending, and I think he is heartless. And he hid himself behind this like stupid, clueless, innocent facade. I don't think he's that clueless. I think he's just pure evil. But yeah, at the end of her DM, our girl Sirap Bandung said, from what had happened to me, I just wanted to tell everyone that no matter how much or how hard you love someone, don't do anything that will jeopardize your life. I learned my lesson the hard way, and I know that I am at fault. I should have said no the first time he asked for it, but being blinded by love and lust, this is what I got. I wish if I could only turn back time, I would turn back time to the first time that I laid my eyes on him in the stadium. I wish I had never looked at him or even care about his existence. Up until today, I still cannot move on from what had happened, and yet he is still out there doing the same thing with other girls. Sirap Bandung also said that I still have most of the screenshots from our conversations, but I'm too lazy to scroll my gallery down because it would just contribute to her mental breakdown. She also said here that this guy, he kept on playing innocent to the point that her own friend, like Sirap Bandung's friend, couldn't hold it in anymore and went and confronted him. And he said that he didn't text Sirap Bandung because Sirap Bandung blocked him everywhere, when in reality she never blocked him. See, this is what I meant when I say that he's not actually stupid or innocent or clueless. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, I guess that's all from me today from this story. I hope Sirap Bandung is doing a lot better now, and I hope anyone who's currently in the same position as she was is also doing a lot better now, inshallah. And yeah, if you guys have any other stories of your own that you would like to share, feel free to DM me on Instagram. You can go follow me on TikTok if you want this sort of stories but shorter. I post there almost every day. And yeah, please do send me your stories, by the way, because I'm running out of stories, like I said, and this is like one of the recent stories. Like right after I got the story from Sirap Bandung, I immediately recorded this. So if you have any stories of your own that you would like to share, please send me them. Okay. Again, thank you all so much for watching. See you next week, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye.